Welcome to Out and About. We are back. Barstool is back. Uncle D is back. He bought the goddamn company, Joe.
Well, I knew about this for many years because Silvana drank too many high noon tequila seltzers and spilled the Goyas to me on the Beyonce boat. I'm like,
She spilled the Goyas?
No, she didn't tell me anything. But can I tell you I was crying yesterday when I found out?
Oh, you are a fucking mess.
Explain to everyone what that means.
So here's what it means. So basically, I think it was 3 years ago, Penn exercised their option to buy out Barstool Sports, meaning we had become a gambling company. Barstool Sports was no longer just content, funny internet videos. We had someone to answer to, which was Penn. We had a set of rules to follow by, which were gambling regulators, because at the time, our business plan was to become the biggest sports book in the country. And as you know, gambling is becoming legal everywhere. There's a ton of money up for grabs.
Your family is all in prison for gambling, correct?
Correct. Oh, we can say that now? Or do we have to wait 6 months? 6 months in a day. 6 months in a day. So what happened was, the 3 years ago, let me think how I'm going to explain this.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened was things didn't shake out the way that both parties thought they would. Penn found a better opportunity with ESPN, who's launching their sports book called ESPN Bets. What does that mean for us? That means Barstool and ESPN are kind of like oil and water. This is hearsay. I would imagine that ESPN said, yes, we'd love to do this deal with you. You can operate our sports book, but get rid of Barstool. So the long and short of it is that Barstool is now back to the old Barstool. And we're kind of phasing things out with Penn. And what it really comes down to is that I was thinking about this. Dave essentially bought back free speech. He no longer has anyone to answer to.
Well, he has to answer to me.
He has to answer to you. Penn essentially paid him $500 million for a 3-year-long experiment. The experiment didn't work out. So they said, here you go. You can have the company for free. All you got to do is if you sell it, you give us 50%. Why would you sell it when you've already made $500 million? Everyone here is already paid. So basically the whole point is Barstool is back. We no longer have anyone to answer to.
Do we have to bleep out now?
Dave is rich. No, we don't have to beep that out.
We say a lot of curse words here. Sorry.
Yeah, at all. Do we have to bleep out Asian?
We probably still have to do that for
continuity.
Yes.
I don't honestly, it's up to you guys.
But I do think the crazy thing that you think about is essentially if you haven't, we've like always been afraid of being canceled. There's a lot of money on the line. Now we only have ourselves to answer to. This sale essentially means that we own our free speech. We bought back our ability to speak.
This is the Plymouth Rock of entertainment companies.
We are the Plymouth Rock of entertainment companies.
Yeah.
So it's a very exciting time to be here. Dave has been in a lot in the past 2 days. I actually, after it happened, he was sitting in his office and I walk up to him and I go, "Did you get a good deal?" He goes, "Yeah." And then the details came out. That he got the whole fucking thing back for free. And Barstool is still generating a ton of money outside of gambling. So essentially, everyone got paid and now he's got this huge money maker. But that comes with a little bit of downside because old Uncle D is cracking skulls and taking names so much so that he was freaking out at people not being here today. I was a little worried you weren't here.
Well, I saw that, and that's why I texted Dave myself, and I said I was in the ladies' room while he was there. That's why
you were spotting.
Now I was spotting, and I had a chimichanga last night. Didn't agree with me, okay, in a bad neighborhood. So I was on the John. I was in the John.
You were in the John.
It was coming out at all ends.
Of course.
So that's why I wasn't at the desk when he was doing roll call. Now, is it going to be kind of like how it is in prison when when he comes in, we all just stand at our bunks. And
you have the broom mop over your head because you're putting out.
And you have to do inspections on what's going on. So he's going to be checking our desk checks.
It was, I'll tell you what, it was, it feels very 2017, 2018. He's going to be in more. He's going to be holding people accountable. Barstool Radio is back.
Well, okay, I have so much to talk about.
Yes.
So because I remember when he was saying when Penn was there
2 days a week currently.
Yeah.
So, let's just go to the chase.
Now I'm a swing shift. Okay, so I call.
I'm just on call.
I'm on call. I'm just here to cover a lunch. So. Now I'm concerned how my schedule is going to change. Now,
do I still have to clock in?
When Penn was with us, he was saying that he's got 2 years left, and then he's out. Does that mean he's never leaving?
Joey.
Yeah.
He said he's never leaving. He said he's never selling it. He says when he dies, it's go to Clancy. When Clancy dies, it'll go to Clancy's children. When we kill them, it'll go to
the
us.
money. Okay, it'll go to us.
Yeah.
I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited that it was always such a good place, and it kind of made me sad. And I think the morale in the office recently was down because Dave's walking around saying I only have 2 years left. Erica's saying I only have this many years left, and then Chicago's leaving. Dan's leaving. Chicago's leaving, and then it's like the office. I thought this was going to be like a graveyard for fun that once was, and it went from 0 to a fucking 100 now. With all these exciting things happening, I thought of it as, and the reason I was crying. I was I was remote when the meeting happened because I had jury duty.
Right.
AKA I was making high fiber meatballs yesterday for my Mediterranean diet, which we'll get to in a minute. But I was looking at it when he announced it. I started crying because this reminded me of like the underdog story. Not that we're ever underdogs. We've always been at the top of our fucking game, and we're the best to ever do it. I'm not going to say underdogs, but I felt like in a movie. It was like when he said, "I finally got my baby back." Like I got my baby back. I felt like it was like we have our bakery. We've been making cinnamon buns in this small town for our whole lives, and then we're going to bulldoze all our woods and our homes to put up this big like shopping mall, and our dream is going to be taken care of. And I felt like we finally got our bakery back. I'm like, we finally got our bakery.
And are we baking cakes in the bakery?
No, those will not ever fly. Or the movie where like they're gonna mow down my grandmother's Christmas tree farm to put up a thing, and then we were able to raise enough money, and the whole gang got back together to come together to make enough money for us to save our company. Yes. And that's why I feel that's what it was. Like Dave finally got his baby back, and something he had to feel some type of like sadness when the deal went through, and he like kind of realized what he did and what happened. And just, I can imagine the joy that he's feeling right now, the level of pride him and his family. And
you know what the best is? Now you don't have anyone to answer to. And also like I completely followed along with your analogy that whole time. Like I know maybe you thought I was getting lost, but I want to let you know I wasn't.
No, but it's a heartwarming story.
Yes. He did it. He sold it. He got it back. And now, like him and Kevin say, we can really fucking sling it around here. Now, I think that people are a little bit trigger happy, and I think there's going to be a little bit tightening of the leash, but it's going to be a change. So do you have any racial or homophobic slurs you'd like to say to the camera at this point?
I'm saving them for a special day.
And that is.
But I would like to say Caroline Benowitz is a fucking pig. I'm like kidding. I love her. She's my desk mate. Is the yak now fully over at the Chicago office?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nick and KB are coming back, and also they want to do a night out with Nana and Trish before they leave. They're leaving at the end.
I love that. No, wait. Now, explain to me what Barstool Radio is. Does this mean that Dave is? I'm sure I'm not going to have to come in every day, right?
No.
Now, who's going to be on the radio show? And how radio shows every day?
Barstool Radio started with Sirius XM back in the day. It was a full slate. Yeah, we had a morning show. It was like, I think it was 6 hours of programming, or no,
it was more than that.
12 hours of programming that then ran back into 24. Now Kevin Clancy is going to be following the Yak. So Pick Central. This is all on for the Man Mafia out there, out and abouters, Crusaders as well.
Crusaders.
This is all.
We'd like to say that now as well.
Yeah, that's Marty Blue.
Snooki, we did it, girl. We finally infiltrated the business.
I said, like, I can't believe I'm saying it. No, we love you all. Basically, every day we have live programming on the Barstool Sports YouTube. So the Yak goes on for a couple hours, and they have 10, 15,000 people watching them, and they have advertisers. It's run like a radio show. Before that is a show called Pick Central, which has a little bit less followers, but it's, about gambling and things like that. Now we've added another show that's called Barstool Radio. Barstool Radio originally started with Kevin, Dave, and Caleb back in the day.
I just had a brainchild of idea of a live show that I can do on there.
Write her down, put her in the notes.
I know it in my head already.
Okay. Do you want to say it now? I feel like you have to.
Well, I think we should save it for after our interview
with
Isaac Mizrahi.
Oh.
We can cut this. Imagine us for merch. We should have a live shopping channel afterwards selling the shit. You can click on the thing on YouTube, buy our outfit right now. We do Home Shopping Network selling all merch from the Barstool Sports Store. Dresses like Southern women.
Or
now, ladies, we have 3 left. We only have 3. This comes in teal.
This is a BOGO.
Okay. Now she is wearing the cigarette pant now with the blouse. Do you know what I mean? Like selling merch.
I think it's good. We do have. I'll talk about Isaac in a second.
But basically, Barstool Radio was like the flagship show of our Sirius.
And how is this going to be done? And who's going to be hosting it every day?
And Barstool Radio was the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Yeah. If there was something going on in the office, you would get dragged into radio. You would be on camera. You would get called out. If you didn't do your job, you get called out. If you did something stupid, if you did something funny, everything went through here and then it was pumped out onto the Barstool Radio Twitter, which now we're going to start getting back to much more. And like you said,
so KFC Kevin's just the host, and every day there's a rotating thing of guests.
No, so it's going to be Kevin, Feidelberg, Tommy,
Smokes.
Tommy Smokes, and
I mean, I don't want to be
Shade,
asked.
talk about it on Barstool Radio.
I don't want to be asked because I can't come here every day because
Right.
I have whittling bone syndrome and dementia.
But they're figuring out the format of the show, so I think it's going to be exciting. I think Dave wrote some very. Have you seen the blog that he wrote about Adam Smith?
Who's Adam Smith?
Smitty, the guy who you didn't know. Do you want to pull it up?
I didn't know who, but his shit was all over my desk. So I packed all it up and I threw it out, but then I felt bad because there might have been some memorabilia. So I put it out on his new desk.
Okay, yeah, here we go. So,
Does Billy Football have a desk yet? Because I have somewhere he can sit.
your face? So read this out. This is how we know we're back. This would never have flown a little while ago. This is a blog from Dave Portnoy. Let's scroll up so we can read the title. Marty, Joey, why don't you take it away?
It says, "How fucking brain dead are all my employees?" I was in the ladies' room, Dave.
Go ahead.
I have a question. How fucking dumb are my employees? I literally owned Barstool for less than 24 hours. They know I'm in town. They know I've showed up to the office today at 10 a.m. and I've been here since 8 a.m. and
Okay, you want me to take her? It's a little.
Now my cataract will act up as I go down. I need my bifocals.
She needs her readers. I have an honest question. How fucking dumb are all my idiot employees? I've literally owned Barstool again for less than 24 hours. They know I'm in town and literally none of them have showed up at the office today. I've been here since 8 a.m. because I'm old and I don't sleep anymore and was reading all the news articles sucking my cock for buying Barstool back. Anyway, back to the point. Nobody is here. I was so silent. It was so silent, I noticed how silent it was.
Was he silent or was he silenced?
Correct. Now, we have the no hate and duct tape on our thing. And I'm not talking about valuable employees either. This isn't a murderer's row of content. It's not Big Cat, PFT, or Alex Cooper. I'm talking Smitty, Nate, Glenny, Marty, Rico. So he's calling their corner the garbage corner now. But
that's what we were sitting there.
No, we were beyond them, right?
We're sitting at an elite table. We're here with Brace.
Yes.
That's Brianna and Brace together. Brace.
We're here with the earners, as they say. Guys that I could cut at the drop of a hat and nobody would know that.
That's not nice.
Look, we're doing a bad job reading this. All I'm saying is Dave is slinging it, we're singing it, and we're excited to be here.
I don't think Tommy belongs on that list.
Why? He was. Oh, and also I was like, I'll do the rundown with you, Dave, and he was like, you're late too. I was like, oh.
And the tags.
Oh my God, the tags. Dumb morons and Rico Bosco.
I'm glad I wasn't mentioned on that list.
Oh, you were talking about a lot today.
Was I?
Where were you? Dave was not happy.
I was on page 6 fucking promoting you. promoting you buying the company back. And Alex Cooper's new
should we jump ship? Should we jump pirate ship?
What's a pirate ship and how do I get my face on it?
Well, it's going to cost you some booty. Okay. That was good. Give me a laugh. That was good. It's going to give you a little bit of booty. We have a new camera operator here in the house today.
Yes. Hello.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the crowd?
I forgot her name. Sydney.
Sylvie. This is Sylvie. Sandra, unfortunately, has been taken by sex traffickers while in Albania. So we've got ahead and replaced her.
Where are you from, Sylvie?
Originally DC. Outside
Oh, nice. It's a red state.
I'm sorry?
It's a red state? It's DC. That's not a state.
No.
It's a district. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Well, welcome, Sylvia. Are you living in New York now?
Yeah,
You just moved here?
No, 7 years.
Oh, damn. Where in BK do you live? BK.
Ooh.
Park Slope. Very nice. Well, welcome. We're very excited to have you. You've come at an interesting time.
Yeah.
And Ben Mintz is joining the program, or he is too busy singing the N-word?
He went to Chicago to be on the Yak today.
I want to say,
what
congratulations to Ben Mintz.
I was on the phone with him when and he was like, "Hey, I'm getting a call. I need to call you back." And that was when Dave called.
I have a question. Dave had to have had known about this and before when he offered the job for the brick watch company to him. He couldn't say anything probably.
No.
He didn't know that he was
I don't know.
this.
I hadn't thought about that. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, did y'all hear any whispers before
Never.
yesterday?
I'm in a very active group text with a couple people here. And
Yeah.
Gaz is one of them. And I asked him point blank, I was like, what is this about? And he was radio silent. So in my head,
Yeah.
I was like, what is someone quitting or resigning or like what's happening?
Yeah, like some inside Barstool stuff. Like we literally just got a calendar invite at like 9:30 a.m. that just said company meeting.
I thought it was for the blood clot in the ladies' room on the floor.
I was hoping you would come in and just go, heard you need an assistant, Mr. Portnoy.
I did actually have another costume, but now I know he's not here. I came in with a special outfit for Mr. Portnoy, but I'm not wearing it now because he's not even here.
He is.
But in light of the new situation here, I think I'll come in tomorrow too.
God damn. Well, we do have an interview.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, I hope you're
That's
here.
That's I like how you double dip. Very exciting news here. Morale is high. It'll probably last a week, but it's high. It's high for the meantime. You look good. You were on Page 6. Did we talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about it. I don't know what's coming out, but I got a call from Page 6 a couple weeks ago, and they asked me to come in. They wanted to do a piece with me. So I was like, okay, great. So I went and we had a great interview. We just played some games. We kind of talked gab. We talked over
Kissing Cousins,
celebrity gossip, things about Barstool Sports, things about my personal life, things just in general. They wanted the exclusive. And so it's no surprise that I said thank you to all of us for putting our small business out there with JWoww.
Yeah, that was great.
Tea. Anthony Cohen was his mouth was thrown around. We're going to talk about Andy Cohen a little bit today because our guest Heather McDonald was on Andy Cohen last night.
Yes.
Apparently they have some tumultuous beef.
She does. Well, I read that
I think so.
She also has beef with long-standing beef with Chelsea Handler.
Yes, we want to from going forward.
Yeah.
If you're a guest on this show, we're going to get you to say something fucking newsworthy, or you're not coming on. I want to hear about your abortion count. I want to hear about if you were born with both sets of genitals.
Yeah, I want to hear it all. I want to hear the last time you shit your pants.
What pills you're on. If you don't spill some juicy tea here, you're getting thrown out.
Exactly.
Do you think she'll show us her pussy?
Well, there's only one way to find out. Wow, we are.
Don't let me forget about her passing out. Is that a commercial with PFT for Bic?
Yellow. Yeah, we run commercials on the blog. Joey doesn't know the blog.
I was on a commercial for Just Friend. That's where that's where their ads.
Is that Conor McGregor?
And who does Barstool TV?
What are you talking about?
Who edits it and puts
We're
it all
on
together?
a podcast. You can't just mid-sentence start.
Wait, what's your question?
Who's running that television channel?
So for context, Joey just saw on the screen
A banner ad.
a banner ad. So basically,
But I also saw a TV show like a Barstool. There's like a TV network.
we have an app on Apple TV. So like if I put our show with Jersey Shore Girls on there today, that is now updated on the app. So if you're at home on your Apple TV, you can actually click
It's
and
not
you'll
on there.
see
You have to put it on yourself.
Well, no, I would blog it, which would then upload it to the app. So like
So the app doesn't have all the Barstool content, podcasts, and other on there.
it does if their hosts and producers upload it. Yeah, but I don't.
Why wouldn't they have on the app? Wouldn't have everyone's podcast and Barstool Network on there they can watch?
They might.
They should.
I don't know.
I'll talk to Dave.
Yeah, talk to Dave. We're very excited for this guest. We're also very excited because this weekend, just by happenstance, Nana and I, we might turn back the clock while morale is high. Nana's going to be at an influencer event with.
It's not an event. It's an influencer vacation weekend that I was invited to. That Alex and I were invited to.
Fun.
For a bunch of like-minded
ladies
and influencers. I don't know who I've never met any of them, so it's like we're going in blindly. But it's about meeting new people, and me and Alex are sharing a room.
Will Graham be there?
I don't know. I'd love if he was though.
Interesting.
I don't know if he'll be there, but we're going to be going to to the Hamptons. We're going to be probably going to Surf Lodge. We'll go see my good friend over there at Surf Lodge, and we're going to go to Duria's. We're going to go on a cigarette boat. I'm going to smoke a cigarette boat.
Can you smoke a cigarette on the cigarette boat?
I'm hoping. I'm just gonna. But the thing is, I do have to start self tanning, and I do need to stick to my Mediterranean diet for the next few days. But it's gonna be hard today because I'm going to a birthday party.
Whose?
My friend William. He's having his birthday party at Benihana in Times Square.
Fun.
William Schlenker.
William Schlenker.
Yeah.
A good Irish Catholic name.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna get to our guest right now, Heather McDonald. She's
about
fantastic.
to get juicy in here, girl.
And it's gonna get really juicy. Here she is. All right, listen. We are taking a quick break from our interview with Heather McDonald because we have some very, very important, urgent announcements to make, and that is that
That's right. It's time to live mucho.
It's time to live mucho, and we're doing that with Mamitas Tequila Seltzer. Okay, and it's mucho sun, it's mucho music, it's mucho tequila, and I'm gonna add one more, Joe. It's mucho fun.
It's mucho fun in the sun with mucho tequila. With the Mamitas comes in 7 delicious flavors: mango, pineapple, lime, and the new cocktail pack: Paloma, Spicy Marg, Classic Marg, Tequila Sunrise, and the new Joey and Pat flavor, which is also spicy.
I thought it was gonna be zesty.
It's a zesty flavor. This one's zesty. It's called zestyqueens.com.
Zesty
No, but seriously,
Queens.
Mamitas is so refreshing. I've been drinking it all summer long, and I haven't had a cold one. When we drink here, they're not always ice cold. An ice cold Mamitas, it cures everything. It is light and lively. It's only 95 calories, gluten-free.
Less than 2 grams of sugar.
Yes, and it comes in all the different flavors. Now, I like a cocktail pack, so that's the one I would get, but any one you have is delicious. It makes you feel light, lively, crisp, and refreshing, and tequila's a natural upper.
Ooh,
It's like an aphrodisiac. It makes you feel light and lively.
I didn't know that. We should drink some this week. We should drink some right now after this interview, and we are going to drink some.
I have them in the cooler.
By going to drinkmamitas.com, which is where you can find them, or order them on GoPuff, the drink of summer made with real tequila and only 95 calories. Find Mamitas at drinkmamitas.com or order on GoPuff. We are here with a very, very, very special guest, the juicy Heather McDonald. Thank you so much for coming
Oh,
in.
thank you for having me.
You
This
look
is so fun.
stunning. She's wearing...
I tried to do like all these young girls wear like the cowboy boots.
You look so hot. She's wearing a persimmon skirt.
Yes.
She's bathed in pastel. She has a denim jacket on, a cowgirl boots. Her hair is the prettiest blowout I've seen.
Thank you.
She's got a coral lip gloss on from the Lisa Rinna collection.
That's right.
Yeah, is it really?
Yes.
I'm not kidding. She sent it to
her
me
lip
too.
Stuff is so
It's the best.
good.
The great cap.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
Best lip liner ever.
You look gorgeous. Welcome
you.
to the show. Welcome to New York.
Thank you.
Now you
I'm
got in the
having a
wrong
great
Uber on the
time.
way here. The wrong lift.
I got in the wrong lift. I always look at the license and it ended in C. So I saw it was C and I hopped in. And then the guy is like, all right, here you are. And I'm like, wait a minute.
You're in Spanish Harlem at a drug deal.
She gets out, just blindly walks into a Subway sandwich shop. I'm
I
here.
was still in a nice area, but then I go, well, okay, now, oh my God, got in the wrong one. He's like, you're not Tanita or whatever. I'm like, no. I go, well, now what do I do? And he's like, you have to get out. And so then I'm trying to tell the other guy, like, I'm so sorry.
But you don't speak the language.
No, the other person on my lift that's waiting for me.
Oh, stop.
So then he's not answering. And I'm like, well, now I can't use my Lyft app to get another car.
Oh my God, you were
Luckily, I got a
stranded.
cab. So I apologize if I was late at all. And then today, this is another weird thing that happened today.
Next thing you know, Mama's got a 1-star rating.
Yeah. So I'm at my hotel room and Bravo is on and they're doing a Real Housewives of OC marathon,
Oh God.
which there's nothing that will stop me in my tracks.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had so much to do today.
Then say something top with the jewel cluster on top.
Yes, from
The
like
blouses.
sky blouses, but also it was like Gretchen was on
Oh,
and
wow.
Slade, and the episode was Slade doing stand up at the Irvine Improv.
Stop!
Yes, and I had just done 5 shows at the Irvine Improv this past weekend.
Oh my God.
So I'm watching, and it's awful. Like he is talking about, Vicky looking like Miss Piggy and Tamara being Miss.
A family van.
Saying Tamara's fat. Can you imagine? He said Tamara was fat.
Oh God.
She's never.
No.
And
never
they show her in a
overweight.
bikini. He's like, the Michelin man is now this person. And she's like a
so
size
mean.
2.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
it was
my
awful.
God.
And so I film it on my phone just because I felt like my stories had just a lot of like, come see me here, come see me here. So I'm like, let's give the people some fun.
Yeah, a little content.
And then I leave and I go and I interview for my show, Juicy Scoop, Erin from the Real Housewives of New York. I just did her. And
Oh.
I get in the car and Brandy and Julie, who are friends of mine, who are on Jeff Lewis's channel.
Brandy
We all know each other.
Glanville.
Yeah.
No. Brandy Howard and Julie Goldman.
Yep. Those are the ones.
They
Oh, I
wrote
love
me,
her.
So if you don't know them,
Yes, I do.
But
I
no,
do.
they
She's
wrote me.
hilarious.
They
The
said,
lesbian
Heather,
couple.
your tits are in your story. I was naked when I filmed the
What?
TV. Yeah.
You
And
saw
I
your
go,
breasts.
Do you know who did that once? Vicky.
Oh my
So
God.
how weird is the world working?
Did you delete it? You left it.
No, I deleted it.
Oh my God. Did
You
you
could
see your
boost it. It
nipples?
was, it was
But it's
boosted
been
post.
hours. It's been hours that
I
it was
can't wait.
on.
Well, I hope that it's someone's screen grab it so I can see.
Apparently, Jeff screen grabbed it. Someone
Good,
texted
good.
Jeff, and they called into them. And
Oh.
but what was weird is
What a whirlwind time in New York
Vicky
so
did this
far.
exact same thing once for like a product. Like
It
just
happened
showing
to
some
me
product.
with I had a brand new Vitamix and I'm so excited I got it. And I'm in there fully nude and I'm showing my smoothie or whatever. I'm going like this and I didn't realize the thing, my whole dick and balls were like scrunched
In
up
the- in the blender thing?
In the mirror of the blender thing.
He was trying to
sitting
blend them
out.
clean off his body was what was
Yeah.
what was happening.
And I saw it right away. And
Oh,
I
so you saw it. So someone didn't say they saw it.
No. I saw it before I posted it, but it was the funniest fucking thing.
How was the
Can you imagine?
feedback in the comments?
So far, they were just some concerned people.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
Heather, your boobs, like DM, take down. I don't know. They said they looked okay. I don't know.
Now, are these the work of Dr. Terry Dubrow?
No, they're the
Now,
work of Bob and Pam McDonald and God.
Oh, thank
Yes.
God.
Yes,
there you go.
thank
He was
you.
supposed to be on our show, but he fell sick.
Yeah, what happened there?
Wait, I just saw that.
He had a blood clot. They were having dinner at the Ivy.
Is that what it was?
Him and Heather. Yeah, not Heather.
Wait, in
Heather Dubrow. Yeah.
LA? Because I thought they came out here to do Watch What Happens Live.
But they were at the Ivy, they said.
She came out. I know she came out here. I think he stayed behind because he was,
He was supposed
to come
to be on our show.
And we think, like, you know, if you get a cancel, it's like,
So
oh,
they
you know.
were at the Ivy in LA.
That's what they said. And she said he started slurring his speech, and then she didn't even question it. Second call, she called the ambulance right away. And between the Ivy staff and her, they got her to the hospital, and there was a blood clot that went to his brain that
That
they
is
diffused right
terrifying.
away.
So he's okay.
He's fine now, but yeah. But he's recovering. And we were joking around yesterday. We were saying, he's not fucking wrong. If you don't want to do our show, just say you cuck. And like, we didn't realize he was really in a fucking real emergency.
Yeah,
They just told us upstairs that they were sick. I was like, oh.
Well, we heard that before. And then we
Right,
see on page 6. Well, what do they say?
Oh my
Face. If you're having a
God.
stroke, face.
That's really scary. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully he makes a full recovery because I do need some scar revision.
Yes. He is a good plastic surgeon. I did have a friend go to him.
Yeah.
They because she was my friend and I knew them. He squeezed her in. He did it on a Saturday.
Oh.
She was thrilled.
A lunchtime lift.
Yeah.
What'd she have done?
She had her boobs taken out and replaced with smaller.
A tune-up.
Do you think
Yeah.
that's taboo to talk about that? Like, we had JWoww on our show in the Jersey Shore people, and she had complained that she feels uncomfortable when Andy would ask her about her plastic surgery and this and that. But my take was that it's like 2023. I think it's okay to ask and also okay to not ask. Like, I didn't know where you fall on that.
About asking about her about plastic surgery?
No, just anyone in general. Like, if you have a guest on, do you think it's
There's
appropriate?
like a famous video of, I can't remember who it was, but it was asking Jane Fonda.
Oh.
Because she was kind of like the first person that you were like, wait a minute, like obviously she's had a really good
Yeah,
facelift,
she's
whatever.
stunning, and she's in her
she
80s.
like buries the person for asking her like how rude that was. I mean, you don't have to tell.
Right.
Same thing if someone says, "Are you on Ozempic?" I don't think you have to say.
right.
You just say, you know what, it's none of your business.
No
So
beeswax.
I think, I mean, you guys just asked me. I don't have a problem with it, but I do think people should rethink it.
Yeah.
I do think
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
It's so normal now.
It's so normal. And I think also just between men, like gay men.
Yeah.
What
are you insinuating, Heather?
You have a better chance. Like, you know what I mean? Like than a straight.
Absolutely,
But at
yeah.
the same
Yeah.
time, and you know.
Yeah, it just feels like you're gabbing with girls, like especially on our line of work and our style of interviewing and comedy.
But everybody's different about the journey. Like whatever her deal is.
Yeah.
I think she got a lot of backlash because at one time she just looked very different from what we knew her. So some people get more written about it and more quiz, and other people you're like, oh, you look great.
And also she's such a philanthropist and like a person that does like great work. So she doesn't want to be known about her looks and everything. She wants to like, be taken seriously for what she's actually her causes are and things.
Yeah, the problem is people are very interested in it. So like it makes sense as an interviewer to ask, but it still is just like it's kind of icky.
I mean, we would never
It's
shout
a compliment.
out.
It's a compliment.
Right,
Most times it's a compliment way saying you look so amazing. How do we, obviously everyone wants to look like you. So what can we do to get your look?
Yeah.
And
that's
also
what
I think so many people are really honest about it.
Yeah.
Which is nice now because they're like, a lot of housewives are too.
Yeah.
They're like, Andy will be like, why do you look so good? And they're like, well, I got the veneers. I got a lower facelift. That
Dolores is very, very open about everything she gets done.
Yes.
She goes so step by step. I got this lift here. I did that because I think in her she gets it. She wants everyone wants to know. It's almost like recommending like, oh my god, your skirt is beautiful. Where did you get it? I want the same skirt. Same idea.
You're
like,
right.
I
And
want,
in the day, there'd be girls that would share their secrets.
yeah.
Yes.
And there'd
I
be
got-
ones that are
it's
like, I don't
vintage.
want you to have. I remember one time getting
They
ready.
would gatekeep it.
I remember one time getting ready with a girlfriend to go out, and I was like at her house, and we're getting ready, and the final thing is like spraying their perfume. And she puts on her perfume and it's nothing expensive, whatever. And I take it to like, cause we're sharing stuff. And she's like, no, we can't smell the same.
No.
Yeah, people are like that.
And I thought that was so weird. Cause I
That's
had come from
bizarre.
sisters. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I took everything. I'd take their scrunchies. I'd take like,
You come from a big family?
yeah, I'm the youngest of 5.
Youngest of 5.
wow.
Yes.
Are any of your siblings in the entertainment industry as well?
No. No. My sister, who I'm really only close to one sister, and she is an attorney.
Oh.
And so, but we're really close, and yeah,
that's a good thing to have.
My family
disposal.
was funny, and I had funny siblings, and everyone had like a good personality, but I'm the only one that like pursued anything seriously.
Yeah, I've been following your career since the early days, and I just like I had Ross Matthews on here before. Like that crew,
he's the best.
There's a group of comedians that's in that group that at a time in my life when I was unsure of what I wanted to do, I looked up to, and I still do, to you and Ross and Sarah Clone and like all these people and looked up to you so much because I saw so much of myself and your comedic timing and the way your delivers were. The way you guys delivered and just the things you were interested in, I resonated with so much. And I was at the kind of a time in my life trying to figure out what I wanted to do, where I fit in. I was, a makeup artist for many years, that I still do. But it was because of people like you that I've like kind of took the jump and the leap of faith to kind of try God gave us this gift of being funny people. And so we have to use it. And just so what you did with it was so inspiring. So that's why I got choked up when you walked in. I really am so excited to meet you.
It's so nice because I've become very friendly with Hannah Berner.
Yes,
I'm so happy
great.
for her success. And when she was performing in Vegas, I was performing in Vegas. So I was like, what are you doing after? Do you have a meet and greet? She's like, no. And I'm like, well, you want to go to Delilah's with Chris Frangiola and I? And I thought that they had met, but it was just that she was like, because she was like the same as you growing up and kind of watching it and wanting to do it, that she was like very excited to meet him. And that's really nice. I mean, because I have my people that I watched and inspired me. So it's very flattering.
I loved your acting as well. So, a famous interview is the sales girl on White Chicks, which was one of my favorite roles. And she's like, you need a bigger size? I go, honey, you never have a bigger size.
You're never going to get this big old head in this tiny hole.
Yeah, this tiny hole. And you're like, push. Very funny stuff. And also all your sketch work.
I wrote the movie too. With the Wayans brothers.
You wrote that movie?
I did not know that.
Yes, I wrote that scene.
What was that like? What was that like working with them?
So my first writing job was working for Keenan Ivory Wayans. He had a late night talk show.
Yeah.
And hanging out at the Improv on Melrose. He was hiring a lot of writers and he was firing a lot of writers. But I knew, this is why Writers Guild is nice. I knew that even if you got fired, if you got fired the first day, you get paid for 13 weeks.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, yeah, submit me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have a nice firing. And so I went and I had to spend all weekend writing jokes. I remember I missed all the Labor Day parties.
Oh,
and
that new bikini went to waste.
There was no way to like pull up the show and watch it on YouTube. And there was not even a DVR. So I had to stay home, watch the shows to come up with like commercial parodies and stuff that might work. So I like type it all out, submit it, and I have a meeting and I don't think it goes very well. But I get in the car, my manager was like, no, you got hired. And
the meeting was with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like why I think it's, so great to have diversity in a writer's room, especially when you're a late night talk show host, is because he had like 5 white guys, 5 black guys, 1 black woman. And he specifically said, I want to get a white woman's perspective. So I got the job at 27.
Wow.
And then I walk in and the black woman is Allison Faust, who's a great showrunner now. She has this show called Act Your Age, which is doing great. I feel badly that they're not in production, and she comes up to me and she's like, there aren't many of us here. Nice to meet you. We're the only girls, And it was just great. So then I worked on that for a while. And then they were going to write a parody of like alien movies. Oh. So and Keenan said, there's always a single mom, like in an alien movie. Right. So like, see if Heather can do it. And I just had my baby and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can like leave and be gone. And my husband's like, go do it. Go do it. I got this. So I worked on that movie and then it got shelved. But one day I was waiting for a meeting and I look and I see that they're in deadline for coming up with a show called White Chicks, which was like a parody of Paris and Nicole and Nikki Hilton, and everything that was going in the Hamptons that we'd read about, like twins. in the magazines, And so I was like, "Are you guys going to write this movie?" And they're like, "Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to write it." I'm like, "Well, don't you think you need one white girl consultant?"
Yeah.
So then they already
thrives in that. They already had like lifestyle.
They already had like the beats of it and the characters, and then I helped with like creating the female scenes and punching it up and coming. And so the scene was his sister was there, Kim Wayans, And he goes, "Oh, you have those pants on," and they were like these called them magic pants. They're so flattering, and they were on 3rd Street. And I go, "Yeah, but that girl's so annoying, right?" And we joke about how the girl would keep coming in. "Can I help you? Can I help you?" And then Keena goes, "Go home and write a scene. There has to be a scene of the brothers shopping as the women," and that's how it all came out. And then they call me and they're like, "We want you to be in it, but we have to use so many Canadian actors." And I go, "Okay, fine." And then they're like, "Can you get on a plane in 3 hours to Canada?"
God. They shoot in Canada?
Yeah, and so you can be the person, the sales girl for the scene that I wrote.
Oh my God!
So
your hair was perfect.
That's like the dream.
Even your hair was perfect.
So then it got to be so fun. Yeah.
And then from there, was it? You were doing stand up before that, or did that kind of give you the confidence? Like you were doing it the whole time.
Yeah, I started doing stand up maybe just about a year after I graduated from college, and I had a job that I got, how they have job fairs at college.
Yeah.
And so I went
I didn't go to college. I went to nail school, but I was agreeing. I was like, yes.
Well, he interned at Miss Kathy's.
So I was very determined to have a job out of USC where I didn't have to live at home. And so I got this job being an assistant buyer for a department store.
Oh my God.
And
TJX?
No, it was Robinson's May, which then got absorbed by Macy's.
Okay.
But I was
Filene's basement.
I was awful at it.
She's literally life-size Barbie. She's like, I was a career woman. First I was a buyer for many years. Then I was a writer.
Anyway, I was really bad at it. And the day that they fired me, my friend who was also there prior to that, she threw down a Learning Annex magazine, which was you could go for one night to hear whatever, how to do things. So there were a lot of ones. I remember one night there was the woman that wrote Seinfeld and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there were some. So one was to be a stand-up. So I went to it. And then that woman had a 6-week class. So I took the class.
Oh my God.
And so when I got fired, the girl's like, "Well, today is the kind of day that I hate because it's going to be your last." And I was like, "What? Friday at 5? Should I be suspicious?"
Yeah.
So, and she goes, "I just don't think this is for you. You have such a good person." And I go, "Well, actually, I'm doing stand-up. And would you like to come?" And she came.
Oh my God.
To my stand-up show.
Did
The
she
girl
have a
who
chuckle?
fired me.
So she gave you the nudge you needed, maybe?
I mean, sometimes the greatest gift is being fired.
Do you remember her
Because
name?
you may not quit,
That's do you remember her name?
No, I can see her. She's blonde and she was nice.
She's standing right here before us.
We have her
on her cell phone.
She's transitioned.
Yeah.
That's great. And then obviously, we don't have to do the whole career history. I feel like you would be bored of telling this right now, but then Chelsea Lately came along.
Yeah. So then after that, a couple of years after that, I got Lyricist Lounge, which was kind of in A Living Color. But it was the rappers would rap the entire sketches. And that show.
You're very popular with the black male community.
The black man's been very good to me.
Yes.
He's given me a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
And, but that actually came about because I auditioned for the sketch show. I wanted to audition. They wouldn't see me. And then Allison, who I talked about before.
Yeah.
She was writing on the show and she called me up. She goes, "I'm running on this pilot and the white girl they had is not good." And they fired her. Hold on. I got a cough. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Do you need water?
If I could get a water, thanks.
Yes, thank you.
And they go, the white girl we had is not good. And they fired her. And she goes, and I said, my white girl's
the one
funnier.
we have, it's not working.
She goes, "I got one that's funnier or whatever." So then I came in and I auditioned. They gave it to me. And then they said, this is kind of a good lesson, I think, for anybody in this business. And my agent goes, "You cannot do this pilot. This is the worst pay I've ever seen for anybody. It's a whole week and it's $1,200. And sorry.
It's coming.
Hold on. Thanks.
We have asbestos in the building, just so you know.
The pipes are lead.
It's the way. Of course, it's just a spacious place.
Well, you used to have a wig wall, so the dust is probably.
We have to make the wig walls this week, too.
Yeah, we do.
I see those hooks. Making a wig wall near our desks.
That's fun.
The work never stops.
So anyway, I go, no, I've never booked it. Really have not booked anything for years. And I just think I need to book something so I can have tape. Because again, what's so great about today is that people can be known and do TikTok. No, you had to have tape to get an agent, to get a job, to get a SAG. You couldn't have SAG without an agent.
Right.
You couldn't have an agent without SAG. It just like was always very hard.
It's a beast that works like a well-oiled machine to get you fucked over.
A lot of red tape.
At all
It was
times.
really, really hard. So I'm like, at least I'll have the tape. The pilot may not go, but at least I'll have like sketches that are professionally shot.
Right. A reel.
So
Called The Biz.
exactly. So then I did it, and they're like, "Do you have any ideas?" And I gave them all these ideas. So like 5 of the 7 sketches from the pilot were stuff I wrote.
Oh,
And so then the show went, and then
they blocked you.
and then I'm just thinking about all my careers. So I was very happy. So I was going to go, but prior to knowing it got picked up, we didn't know it was going to be picked up. Sorry, we took the tape and we cut it up and we sent it to SNL, and then they said, "Okay, you're going to fly here to try out." Audition was Tuesday.
Oh shit!
I was going
gonna
to
ask
leave
this.
like Sunday or Monday or something. And I remember I went and bought white jeans. I'd never been to the Hamptons except once, like because I had an aunt that lived there, and
Yeah,
I was wearing like a black and white striped top. Like I was trying to get like Hampton-y outfits together.
but you were spotting, so you couldn't wear the white pants.
And this was before
Yes,
the triple wide. This was before the extra wings were invented, ladies.
That's exactly.
Now we're
exactly
aging
true.
ourselves.
But but they called me and my agent goes, "I have good news and bad. The good is that the pilot got picked up, and the bad is you can't go now to SNL."
Oh,
And he goes,
fuck.
I begged MTV to be in second position because
Yeah.
they won't even see you unless they know you're 100% available, you know, because
Oh, right.
it's like
It's not worth their
almost like the
time.
final edition. So that was it.
Did you ever re-audition for Lauren or no?
No, because then after that, we did the show for like 2 years. I got married.
Yeah.
And then when I thought to audition again, I just had no desire to move here at all because
You have a family,
my
you're
husband
from
had
there.
a daughter. So I was like, we get her half the time. And
Yeah.
Was it like open ended, kind of like, okay, the timing didn't work out now, but in a few years come back to us? Or did you
for me,
regret it?
I never tried after that because I
Yeah.
was like, well, now I'm in my 30s, and I do think it's kind of the kind of show that they want people. They want you to stay there for 10 years. So
Yes.
it's be very rare, unless you're like a Trump impersonator or something like that they would hire, especially a girl. I think that they would even. But for me, then shortly after I had my son, and I mean, it just never ever was going to make sense
For a reason, yeah.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing now is more fulfilling, and you have your
Yeah, it all
whole
works
life
out. But there
there.
were times that I would like see Kristen Wiig and be
Yeah.
like,
I should have been in that show.
yeah, I should have been, you know.
Yeah.
That girl. But now, of course, now I wouldn't have it any other way. But
Right.
are there times when I always
Yeah.
remember there was this story, I was like doing some show or something, and this guy goes, "Oh, I know the girl that you know, you always wonder what is true or not, but some girl was supposed to be one of the characters of Friends.
Oh.
And she got pregnant, and she was like, and she goes, you know, I'm pregnant. And they're like, oh, and I think they made her the wife of Ross. Remember Ross had, like,
Yeah.
something like that. And he goes, I always just think, does she ever look at her kid and be like,
Yeah, that could have been me.
that motherfucker if it wasn't for you?
It's crazy, but I do
It is
think
kind of a weird thing.
everything works out for a reason. Like, I really do think that we were just talking about before you came on.
Yeah.
Like, our company got sold like a year ago
Right.
officially, and we just found out that our boss like bought the entire thing back. So now we own. It's just like the point I'm trying to make is it all comes full circle.
It's like, I always feel like there should be a little more. Everything happens for a reason. However, it may take several years to
Yeah.
show itself. Like, you could have regrets but one day you'll wake up and you'll go, well, if this didn't happen, then this wouldn't happen, and this wouldn't happen, this wouldn't happen. Oh my God, I'm so glad that happened 4 years ago.
Never give up.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
it's just sometimes it's not going to feel like it was meant to happen.
Right.
And then you were on Chelsea lately
Yes.
for a while.
So then with Chelsea lately,
Love that
so I
show.
sold like a couple shows and I was on some things. Some years I'd have insurance and some years I wouldn't.
yeah,
And I was always like selling real estate as well and like being a young mom.
you had the backup plans.
Yeah. And then my friend was like, oh, they're going to make Chelsea's show, which was at the time once a week. She's going to take Howard's spot.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, are you going to take that job? And because they were like best friends. And she's like, I don't know if I want a full-time gig. And I'm like, I'll take it. Because I already could feel, because this was 2007, I'd just gone to an open house and it was, incredible real estate for a really long time. bring it out of the house Friday, and we'd be real bitchy to everybody coming by. We'd be like, all the offers will be looked at Sunday. And like all of a sudden, the last 2 like months and stuff, I started to feel like, and this was right before like the 2008 like crash. And so I was like, I'm feeling like something bad's happening. Maybe I should try to. And I also felt at the time I was 37, and I'm like, I feel like if I don't get like a real job in the business, even if I'm like, obviously the show will never go past 13 weeks, whatever. I'll have a credit.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And I went to write on it. I didn't think I'd be on it, and I just like knew what her act was like. So I'm like, well, if I can write for a black straight guy, I can write for a drunk slutty blonde. Like that I'm more relatable to, and I knew Chelsea's material.
And at the time, the 2007, that's where all the good stuff was happening. People was shaving her head. Lindsay was showing her pussy.
Yeah.
It was a pop culture dream.
It was perfect timing.
You could be mean. You could talk about people being crazy.
Yes.
You could, do accents. You could
do black
characters.
Joan was hosting the red carpet.
I mean, listen, the fact that, thank God, Chelsea left E on horrible terms.
Yeah.
And E's way of getting us back was to remove everything from the internet.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, for many years.
Well, she was also fucking the owner.
The president.
She's fucking the president.
Yes, that's how she got that show.
In the beginning.
Worth it. I mean,
no, they were a real couple though. They were a real couple.
That's what I mean. They were together.
No, they were a real. Like I went on vacation together. And then once they broke up, I mean, the show and her success continued on. So it's less like the same.
When
thing
the show ended,
why is Kim Kardashian famous? Right. It's like, okay, did she have a sex tape that she probably manipulated to put out there? Yes.
Yeah.
But you're telling me millions of people are buying her bras because she fucked her AJ 15 years ago?
Yeah,
no.
And you guys, you had like a falling out, obviously, towards the end of your thing. Do you even?
There's a lot of. I think when it ended, I think a lot of.
Can we ask you about this? You just want to stay away from it.
I'm going to tell you the shortest version because I think.
Yeah.
Now this was a long time ago. It's like 7 years ago. So I had just started my podcast. I've had my podcast for 8 years. So it was like the first year of it, whatever. And no, we didn't. There was like something that I said to an executive producer at the rap party, which basically.
The rap party of Chelsea lately.
Yeah, this executive producer, I kind of basically told what I thought of that executive producer, not Chelsea, that person. And then.
Confronted her almost, this producer.
I just kind of was
said,
like.
You're a bitch and you don't.
No, I basically said, she would say things to us who were the writers, and we produced the show, and we also, and we made it Writers Guild, by the way. We made it Writers Guild. And so I think they were also happy to get rid of us. But anyway, and we were on it, and we had our own things going, but we were still loyal to the show. And she would just say passive aggressive things because honestly, I think she was sort of frustrated and jealous. So she'd be like, nobody's watching the show for you. Nobody, like things like that. Instead of empowering us.
I love Chelsea. Right.
It was a lot of that. So finally the last day, she's like, I just want to say, and listen, since then I've talked to her and we've cleared it up. And this is what happened. She goes, I just want to say, like, you were so great on the show. The show was really like very much your point of view because like I liked all that stuff. Chelsea had now outgrown it and was tired of it. Hence why she left. And I go, well, you never told me. So and now it just like spoon and my heart was beating. And so anyway, it got back to her. Who knows how it got back to her. And she wasn't happy with me for that. And in the end, this woman did work for her, but then they started falling out as well. And so that was it. I was like, well, I'm sorry. I'd love to see you in person. She's like, no, I'm done with you. So we don't talk for a long time. And then I go do Theo Vaughn's show when he had it with this other guy called Allegedly. And Theo brings up that he was on the show once and he felt there was tension, whatever. And I go, well, every day I was scared I was going to be fired. Not because Chelsea was a bitch, because she wasn't. She was really fun to work with and great. Because I'm a person who grew up living in fear. Like my whole life, I'm a girl. I went to Catholic school. I'm scared of my dad. I'm scared, Yeah. I remember a couple of years later, my son, who was 13, goes, God, Mom, this is like years after the show ends, I mentioned something. He goes, are you still scared of Chelsea Handler? And I was like, oh my
God.
You
keep her name out of your mouth, young man.
I think he just heard me growing up. Like,
yeah.
And only because she was the boss that could take my job away not because she wasn't really fun, really fair.
Yeah.
She was supportive. Yeah. Was could I relate to the weird Lizzo thing that happened slightly? Slightly.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah, if you're partying with
I
the
said the
boss,
same thing.
you want to go. If
Right.
what was good about me is that I wasn't like a hardcore party. I like to drink. So if we went on the road together, those were like, they were pretty mellow. We'd have some drinks after, maybe, we'd laugh or whatever. And that's it. And then there'd be other weekends where she'd take other people and they'd have a much different experience. Fine.
Yeah.
I never saw anything but cocktails. With me, I was just the cocktail girl.
Right.
And so that was all fine. And then, so anyway, I say that and the thing doesn't get put out for months. And I call Theo one day and I go, I'm just wondering, like, when is it going out? Because I feel like maybe I said something that could be like misconstrued. Oh no, it's fine. It's coming out. Blah blah blah. So I'm doing the Comedy Works, and I'm like buying a coat in Colorado, and my phone just starts going crazy. So the co-host took a clip, not even a clip, not even a sound bite, took quotes from their show, gave it to his former boyfriend Harvey Lemon.
Oh yeah, TMZ.
And
I wonder how it got spread.
And got
Two shady queens.
Only a quote of like Heather McDonald says every day she was scared of Chelsea Handler or something like that. Not that I was insecure and that I could possibly lose a job that supports a family of 5.
Right.
And like, how would I get another job that's this fun and this great? That's what I was saying, not.
But also your fears were somewhat validated that because afterwards she had gone on Howard Stern and
so what happened
and she had said,
what happened after? Because it is kind of like a weird stuff.
Yeah.
So the truth is at that point I was scared. I should have called her right away and said, this fucking thing's coming out. But I didn't know what I said.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit, how bad is this? And so this thing goes crazy for 5 days, comes out Saturday, the article. You can't even listen to this podcast till Tuesday, which thank God, the way Page 6 writes about our type of interviews, it's because they've heard it. Like, think about if all of a sudden you like leak this and like for a week, nobody can listen to my voice reflect, nothing. And I was like, so, Theo.
All they know is that quote and they don't know any, there's no context.
So then Theo was like, we're trending. And I'm like, I'm
Theo's
scared.
pumped.
And I'm reading all these things like, oh, you buck-toothed, ugly, soft-faced loser. The only reason anyone knows who you are is because of Chelsea. I'm like, I fucking agree.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like such a dork. I don't know what to do. So at the time I had this old publicist and I was like, what should I do? No, before I didn't ask the publicist. This is what happened. So I'm just seeing a couple weird things online, but nothing major. Tuesday morning, I wake up and I'm driving to go do my podcast. And at the time was that podcast one. And I listened to the Howard Stern thing and I'm driving over the hill.
She went in.
And I'm hearing them talk about the writer girl, the ungrateful writer girl, who's me. And I'm like, I agree. I would hate myself too. Like it was
Did you text her?
No, I was still scared.
Yeah.
So then I was like.
The second time.
Yeah. So I was scared.
The fear didn't subside.
I do get scared of people. So anyway, I didn't know what to do. So I decide. So I call. Oh, and she says, this was the damning stuff. She said she sold stories about me to Us Weekly, something like that.
That you did.
She said you sold personal stories so you could get your photo run in Us Weekly.
I mean, 100% a lie. Never happened. The only time I was ever in Us Weekly was I had a book party for my book at BOA with Kris Jenner, Chelsea, these 2 other women that were this lesbian couple that she was like best friends with at the time.
Yes.
And a couple, Sarah Colonna, Jen Kirkman. We just had a dinner and my publicist said to me, would you be okay if someone came into the restaurant and took photos of us
having
with a
dinner?
book? Which we all agreed to and we all did it. And by the way, Donald Trump was there.
Oh, was he?
My God.
Yeah, and Chelsea kept going up and having fun conversation with him.
Oh.
So I'm like, cut to 2 years of like your whole career.
We know he loves a blonde.
But people change, whatever.
Yeah.
So honestly, I was like, I don't know if someone fed her that lie. I don't know if she got so mad she created it in the moment. 100% it wasn't true. And I certainly wasn't getting paid $50 a story when I didn't need that kind of money. So I call my agent. I go, can't Us Weekly collaborate my story that I didn't do that? No, they won't touch it. Okay, fine. So then I say on my podcast, like in a long, one of these things, which going back, nowadays you'd go write and do something on Instagram. You'd do a video and be like, not fucking true. You'd say it right away.
Yeah.
But again, I wrote, did it on a Tuesday. It doesn't come out till a Thursday. And some people are feeling, but for so long that haunted me. And it haunted me.
I'm sorry. Well, I'm glad we brought it up.
It haunted me for getting, so I then couldn't get any jobs. Nobody wanted me in a writer's room. People totally believed that I was that person that was like selling. And I'm like, there's no stories to tell about Chelsea because she told everybody the stories.
Right.
What was I going to say? That one day she was lactose intolerant? She's talked about drug use and drinking and
she had a Netflix special about drug use.
But why didn't you just say it right then? Like, you were it was just fear.
In the thing I said.
And there wasn't Instagram, like you said, to go on.
But when you listened back to that interview, everything I said is true. I wasn't saying that she was a mean, cruel person. I was saying, I was scared that I would be fired. That's all it was. But nobody bothered to listen.
There's no
because
context.
There's a headline.
Yeah. And then
everyone remembers
associates
I'm the
word association.
Oh my God. And Wendy Williams talked about it.
How you doing?
You talked about it.
The tea.
Talked about it. And so then, and for many years, people would want to talk about it. And I'd be like, before I come in an interview, don't ask me about that. The reason I'm telling the long story now is because earlier, everything happens for a reason. So for years, I regretted that I didn't pick up the phone. I regretted that I wasn't like, fuck you, Theo Vaughn. I regretted that I wasn't
hitting it head on and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like I was just like, I don't even know. Like podcasting was so new and like, but because then I couldn't get any jobs, I was kind of like blackballed in a way. I was like, what am I going to do? I guess I'm going to really have to lean into this podcast that I make $700 a month on.
Right.
Yeah.
And
you did.
If things weren't bad, if it had cleared up, maybe I would have worked on her Netflix show, maybe. And there's no way I could have like had a podcast on the side. They would get mad when we would tweet something. Like if we'd come to the meetings at Chelsea lately, the executive producers, not Chelsea, but the executive producer would be like, why would you cheat that about Paris's broken engagement when today it might be a topic and that's a really good joke? You should have used that for Chelsea or for yourself, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's no way that if we were working on a pop culture show that I would be able to have a side business. There's no way they would allow that, which and so in the end, it's all great. But so then the next time I saw her, I couldn't believe that I've never ran into her at any restaurants. Saw her at Chewy's Memorial.
How many years?
Oh,
okay.
So now I'd been like 5.
Yep.
She was totally nice. And like, we just really focused on like telling funny stories about that.
Yeah.
And then still hadn't seen her since. And then so then this is how weird the universe works. So it was like right around my birthday, which is June 14th or something, this guy that used to do the shows together sends me this photo from like Facebook 15 years ago. And it's Chewy, Chelsea, me, Ted.
Yeah.
When I opened for Chelsea in San Diego. And I go, it's so weird that you're sending this. This was my weekend birthday. And she brought out a cake for me. And I go, and I'm now headlining this huge venue in San Diego myself all these years later.
And you're the headliner.
So weird that I go to the restaurant that night that's named Drake. My son is Drake.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's there that night.
Did you say hi?
Yes, I did. And I kind of was
Did
like.
you have a jig saying, guess who's headlining, motherfucker?
No, I
She goes, I'm back, bitch.
No, but I was like, I was pretty confident she would be happy and nice. And she was. And I kept it really brief. And the next day I was like, I didn't even think to take a picture. And then I'm like, I'm glad I didn't take a picture. Because if I would have taken a picture, then it would have been a page 6 article. And it also could have been seen as this thirsty bitch still riding the coattails. I didn't. All I did was I showed her that photo of Chewy.
Yeah.
And she liked seeing that. I said hi to the 2 guys she was having dinner with.
Yeah.
And we said a little funny joke about remembering this thing about a house that she was going to buy. And then I was like, enjoy the rest of your night. And that was it.
Well, you're true of the modern day Sarah Jessica Parker and King Pettrell, it seems like.
Very much
Very much so. Yeah.
Do you like, and just like that?
Yeah. Oh, if I can murder Shay Diaz, I can go to bed. I can go die happy in prison, knowing that I did that. I'd be happy in life.
A good deed for the world.
Diaz.
Well, I hated Shay Diaz too, but I don't anymore.
Happened?
I don't anymore.
What happened?
I kind of feel like they are the best actor on the show.
Please teach me your ways, because I have violent thoughts.
I'll tell you
about
why.
Shay Diaz.
Talk to him.
First of all, I blame the writers.
Yes.
From the moment,
woke
first of
cuck
all, I had
writers.
predicted that Sarah would have a podcast. Predicted it. Okay?
Yeah.
So then they write her the dumbest podcast, the most unfunny, cornball, ridiculous. They write Shay, the worst stand-up concert, standing like awful, cornball sitcom. So I'm like, I think these writers hate podcasters and our ability to do our own thing.
Right.
They're bitter. Okay. And they listen to Juicy Scoop pretty convinced.
Can I ask you
It's
one question real quick?
Yeah.
The thing about the ad read, it's like, that is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Bitch, they don't come to you asking about your opinion. You read whatever the fuck's on the paper and you get your check, mama.
Well, that, first of all, it wasn't believable that Sarah wouldn't want to
Talk about a vagina
when all she talked about was sex.
Yeah.
Like,
that
come
whole
up with
thing
something
was. Now, the whole
else.
company went down because you didn't read the thing. It's like, that's not how podcasting works.
And by the way, you know what they totally missed a juicy story. Remember Bobby Lee
Yes.
the girl in the wheelchair.
Yes.
And the wheelchair girl rolled in pregnant. Where's that storyline?
I wanted to see what it was.
I wanted. Where was that relationship? So I'm like they forget a lot of things. They use like the same actors and stuff. I'm like, so anyway, the fact that they loved being like, well, this isn't 2021. Podcasting's dead. The business is dead. I'm like, you fucking jealous motherfucker.
Yep.
Yeah,
so then I was like,
it's an
oh my
inside
God.
job.
Then Shay has her sitcom.
Their sitcom. She's canceled. They're canceled. Heather McDonald.
Shay has a sitcom, and I did a focus. I'd had a pilot with Ross.
Yeah.
And we did a focus group. And
you behind the glass looking at them?
First of all, they would never let the talent sit behind.
Yeah.
Ever. Maybe
Would you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could you not?
Like this fucking horse face bitch.
I mean, I read every 1-star review and I like to read these people that hate me.
Yeah.
I can't help it. And so anyway, the fact that she'd be there, but I did a focus group once and well, I didn't. I mean, Mike Show did a focus group.
Right.
And they called me in. It was going to be Ross and Heather, but it was going to love it or hate it. It was going to be after Chelsea or like one day a week or something through Chelsea's company. And he's like, well, the show's not getting picked up. And I'm like, well, I figured that because Whitney's is being picked up. Hers got I doubt there's going to be 2. And he goes, but they do want to do something with Ross alone. And I go, all right, well, if it took me to be his co-host to realize to the world that he can handle his own show, which I believe he can.
Yeah.
If he ever does.
Yeah.
It's great with Drew, but he can. And he goes, well, it just was that the focus group hated you so much. He says this. And I go, okay. So I'm driving home.
Not
and
necessary. Just tell me it's
call
canceled.
Ross, and he's like, hi, honey.
Yeah.
Crying. But I'm like,
She
you know what?
cracked
It's
the
not
buttery
the
shut
show
her
I
name.
want to do. I want to do this sitcom thing, which then I sold that, which, got far, but not far enough. And so, but at the time I was like, so then Ross does his show and he's on the 3rd floor and we're on the 4th or vice versa. I can't remember. And everyone's like, do you know what's going on Ross's floor? And we're like, what? You know how nice he is, right? He's like, he has emotional check-in time at 3. And like, he was like way ahead of his time. Everybody's so nice. And like our place was, trickling from the top. So it was kind of like jabby bullying kind of humor that like we look back and we're like, I can't believe that we did this, but we all participated and, whatever. And I was like, oh my God. So the show is going, but they're trying to get it going. It only lasted a season. And that same producer comes in and goes, hey, they're looking for Ross to have like a younger Heather McDonald.
Any suggestions?
I was the Heather McDonald. And they go, do you know anyone that's like, does impressions like you and isn't into pop culture and stuff, but is younger? Like,
How
do you know anyone from
fucked
the
up.
Groundlings or anything that could be a co-star to Ross while you sit in your cubicle and write jokes for Chelsea for the 7th year in a row with no raise and no bump in title or anything.
And don't forget that everyone hates you that on my focus group as well.
Yeah.
Anyone know?
How
and you know what I said?
Yeah.
Let me think about it. I'll help you.
I know a young lady named Joey Kamasta out of the East Coast.
It never occurred to me being like, you got to be fucking kidding. Because at that time.
Did they hire anyone?
No, I mean, they had, like a couple girls that first of all, Ross has chemistry literally with anybody. I think he's just like, so, but these girls were all nice and fun.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the funny that he and I had together.
Yeah, and the fact that you have the history from the show, and why wouldn't you? Did Ross say he didn't want someone as prettier than him on the show?
Never. He was sad about it. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, so I liked that part, that the focus group, that really like 7 people can crush something. And so I thought that was brilliant. But then her pilot doesn't go. And she was a traveling stand-up. Now she has to live at her grandmother's basement.
Oh my God.
She has to rent out her Airbnb.
And here she is today.
And
Here I am.
And she's a receptionist.
In a 9-year-old P-Town
Or
shirt.
they're a receptionist. She can't, or they can't go on the road they can't go to the Chuckle Hut. Like
The Chuckle Hut. And it's all led back to here, Juicy Scoops.
Exactly.
Everything has come full circle.
Killed it with Juicy Scoop. You still do. Now, is that in your house, the studio, or do you go
No,
somewhere?
we have a pretty big office that's our own. In
Did it
Woodland
start
Hills.
in your garage?
It never started in my garage. It started at Podcast One.
I was there before.
Then I went to Wondery. Then from there is when I got a small office in Calabasas. And then we moved that from that small office to Woodland Hills on Ventura, across from Target, which is a really good way to get people to come to Woodland
yeah, because
Hills.
they have to go there anyway.
You could say go to Target after that, because people, you know, exciting.
You get that noon BOGO.
And so no, we do it there.
I love it. Your success is like
But it's very close to my house.
I know, but
very
it's
nice.
something that just took off, and like you're making so much money from this now. I know.
Yeah, I'm
It's
very,
insane.
very happy.
And you found you found your spot.
Yeah, when I was out of that first horrible job, talking about manifesting,
Yep.
I always, don't mean to brag, but my dad would always get People magazine. And throughout my time at USC, it'd come every Saturday, and he never stopped giving me that subscription of it. And I would sit at that horrible job and I'd look at those men and I go, I just want a job that would require me to read this magazine. And so one day I'm sitting at Chelsea Lately, and we used to get all the magazines. And I was like, there you go.
You got it. And you do such a good job breaking things down. I was watching the one where you broke down the Lizzo, the Lizzo thing. It's like those are topics that people are usually very afraid to touch, but you went into detail. It was hilarious. I thought it was great. And you also have the greatest intro song. I mean,
thank you.
Of all time. Have you heard it, Joey?
Yes.
Some people hate it, but I'm like, I'm not going to change my song.
No.
But you know, what is also really great is a lot of actors or whatever, you know, get into podcasting as a side thing in between shows, but they're still hoping to keep relationships so that they still get acting jobs or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you have it all now.
I don't,
you have your children, you have your house, you have your husband.
Yeah. So I'm not going to like tiptoe my opinion.
You have
you
us
guys.
now.
I have Joey. I have
Can I tell you something sad?
Yes.
And that's you tell me something. Do you know that I cried for 3 days when what happened, Simba? Simba got eaten by a coyote, her cat.
Yeah.
And I cried for 3 days. I'm not kidding. Every time I had to replaying her story, telling what happened, I was distraught.
I miss that cat so much. And my
God.
son cried, and it was like,
I had to tell her. I had emotional trauma.
I want to end things on a high note. Oh my
sucked.
God.
I know. You're big friends with Kris Kardashian.
Yes.
Can you go through your phone and see what the last text message she sent you was?
Where's my phone? She took my phone.
What do you guys talk about in text messages? Does she complain
Besides
about her
us.
ungrateful bitch kids?
Listen,
Tell us about you and Kris Jenner's relationship.
listen, I'm
a great
very,
question.
very,
And something juicy.
I'm very, very truthful. I would not say we're close today, but if I text her, she will text me back.
Yeah.
I text her like happy
Saying,
birthday.
"Lose
I
this
text
number,
her
bitch."
I go happy grandmother of 9, happy grandmother of 10, happy grandmother. When I fainted on stage, she
see her faint on
immediately
stage?
reached out. And then when I have a place now in La Quinta, but last year I hadn't bought it yet because I bought a
The
lot.
La Quinta Suites, correct?
La Quinta
room
is near Coachella. Coachella.
Yes.
And there's this place called Madison Club, which is a very fancy club.
Oh.
And she lives there. Every girl has a house there. It's incredible. And yes. And
Readers?
so I was staying with friends and she was there. And so we were like, okay, let's meet at the club. And Kylie had just had the baby. And She was really, really nice.
Oh, good.
But again, I wasn't going to overstay my welcome.
You were
I
good
wasn't
friends
going to
with
be like,
Liz.
let's take a photo.
You were good friends with Liz.
Liz
that
O?
worked- No, Liz that works for them.
Yes, Liz and I have been best friends since we were 6.
Right. And so she's a big high up over at Kris Jenner Productions.
Not anymore.
Oh.
Not anymore. But when the girls were young, she would help manage and, run their day-to-day lives.
I met her a few times.
Yes.
And
and
with the girls.
Did you know?
But then once the girls
yeah.
got older and then Liz wanted to do other things. So, but Liz is still close to Chris.
Yeah.
They'll still like meet and have dinner a couple times a year.
Have you been to a wedding or a Kardashian wedding yet?
Yes, I've been to.
Were you at the first one with Chloe, the 9 days
I've
one?
been to 2.
That Chloe in
I
9
went
days?
Chloe and who?
Chloe and
Lamar.
Lam.
Lammy.
You went to that one
I went to that one.
where Kris Jenner wore a bridal gown.
No,
The Vera
she-
Wang with the
Here we go.
Wrong,
with the bow.
Wrong.
Which one was that?
Dispel the
was
rumor.
Kim with Chris Humphries.
Yes, where she wore the
Where
Vera
they
Wang.
all wore
her own-
white. It was an all-white wedding.
The 4 sisters.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
4 sisters. Yes, that those 2 I went to.
Well, you
that
married
was
the
my
family.
era.
Oh, so yeah.
I did not go to Kanye one.
Yeah.
What do you think is going on? Where are the parents of Kanye's new wife, and why are they not getting
Poor
someone
thing.
to? If that was my sister or daughter,
Yeah.
I would be doing whatever it took to get her away. She's chopped her hair off. She's wearing
condoms on her
like
head.
she's wearing condom on her head. She's got her body exposed.
Yes.
And what's also weird is that
Sensory.
he's weirdly affectionate with her in person.
In public.
When you never saw him do that with Kim.
Well, I just think it's going to become. I don't think he's as.
Is it even
creepy.
real?
Kim has
Is that-
self-respect.
But is it even real? What is this?
I think I think he's like creating a clone. You know who is the Amber something?
Rose.
Amber Heard?
It's like a mix between
Oh.
Amber Rose and Kim
Amber Rose.
Kardashian.
Amber Rose, yeah.
It's a mix between the two.
I just think he needs to take some time to fix his mental health before he starts trying to infiltrate his crazy things on a woman.
But I
or a
get
new
it.
person.
If Kanye West is coming on to you and he's like, "Hey, why don't you get a haircut?
Marty,
Why don't you do this?
Would
Why
you
don't you
get
do
fucked
this?"
like
You do it.
Kanye West for money and fame?
No, I am a huge fan of his music, though. I have to
Okay.
admit,
Me too.
I don't love his
Yeah.
stance on Jews, but yeah.
Right.
Which is tough considering you're Jewish.
Right.
What did
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think? What did you think of the Jamie Foxx, Jen Aniston accidentally liking it?
I don't know, but I'm excited for her if she does. Were they supposed to be hooking up?
What are you talking
No.
about? Let me tell you what happened.
The story. Explain.
Jamie Foxx wrote a story with just writing on it that said, they killed Jesus, know what they'll do to you,
Yeah.
fake friends, fake Hollywood, something like that.
Oh, I was way
And
off.
people interpreted that as because in the Bible, the Jews killed Jesus. They thought it was anti-Semitic. Meanwhile, Jennifer Aniston follows him, and someone caught
She liked it.
that she liked it.
Oh, I got
I
it
think
now.
it's
I got it
how
now.
old is
I think it
Jennifer
was.
Aniston? I think it's innocent.
I think
I
it's
think you can
innocent.
like things at that age.
I wanted to also say, as
Yeah.
someone who's Catholic and stuff, like my dad would say things like, "Hey, nobody's perfect. There's only one person who's perfect, and you know what they did to him." When he would say that to me, it was like, "Don't try to be perfect. Even if you are perfect, people are going to hate you." It was never they, meaning Jewish people. It was meaning like Jesus is this person, and and then also betrayal means like Judas took 75 coins and told them where Jesus was.
Right.
It wasn't that. So a lot of Christians came to defend him. Jen Aniston just
Did she say anything about it? Did she say
She
it was
just
not a
unliked
mistake?
it and moved. Unliked it.
I'll
and
do
locked
my
the doors.
Jennifer Aniston impression.
Oh, good. She has a new hair care line.
She was
I
like,
saw.
I am absolutely just, I am disturbed. I don't know what happened. I didn't have my reading glasses on. I was trying to do a hair serum and I accidentally liked it. And I've got so many Jews that I love.
That is so good.
Which we now know is false. Jennifer Aniston.
Oh my god.
So funny. Oh my God. Well, everyone check out Juicy Scoops. I'm sure you guys already
I thought you
all
said
know what it is.
Juicy Scoop. That's her spinoff show that she's doing during Purim.
Let me be very clear. My brother-in-law is Michael Goldstein.
Oh.
I love the Jews. I have no problem with. I was just saying why I believe
Right.
possibly, I believe, Jamie Foxx, that he did not mean for that to be.
Oh, I believe it too.
That. Yeah.
Totally.
Now, for the record, Jamie Foxx and Jennifer Aniston are dating, and you heard it here first. That's what I thought. I thought that was just going on.
That's where it's going to.
Wait, what was his medical scare?
If they were dating, she's like, oh, forget it now.
Yeah,
exactly.
If this means I can't be in an Adam Sandler movie, I don't want to be with you. Yeah.
Well, this is a bucket list day for me. I'm so excited I got to meet you, and hopefully we stay lifelong friends.
I really do. When do you guys come out to LA?
Oh, we'll come out all the time. I'll come whenever.
Name a date.
Yeah,
We'll be
come
there.
on my show.
All right, but can we
love
really?
that.
Yeah.
All right, good. So check out Juicy Scoop everywhere fine podcasts are found, and follow Heather McDonald.
Thank you.
Love you, girl.